So Callum did this thing on his channel yesterday where he had like this tweet thing, and it was like, I'll answer one for every like. It was like 25 Pokemon questions, and he tweeted it out, and he got like way more. He said like he'd do one for every 10 likes, and he completely smashed it, and he figured it was worth a video. And I watched that video and I was like, that seems fun. So late last night I decided, hey, I'm gonna copy Callum, and I tweeted it out and I said, I'm gonna copy Callum because I want to do a video about this. So if we could just reach 100 likes, because I don't have that Twitter clout like Callum does. And we reached the 100 like thing. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. So I'm gonna answer the questions, and I guess you can let me know what your answers to these questions down in the comments. I'm going in completely unscripted, which is not something I'm very used to, so sorry if there's a lot of cuts to cut out all the ums and uhs, because I'm really bad at speaking unscripted. So number 1 is your favorite Pokemon, and of course you guys know that my favorite Pokemon is Chandelure. That's not really a surprise to anybody, nor is it really all that interesting to talk about because I've talked about it like a bazillion times on this channel. So I'm going to talk about another Pokemon that I really like, and for this I put Octillery. I really love Octillery just because one, I think it's adorable, but 2, I have a lot of really young nostalgia for Gen 2, and I always remember thinking Octillery was super cool, and I thought it was super good in battle. It's not terrible, but it's not horrible, obviously. Not to mention that octopuses are just my favorite animal. I only have one tattoo, and it's behind my ear. I think it's super cool, and I like it so much that I made it one of my emotes over on Twitch. You guys can follow me on Twitch. The link should be in the description. Number 2 is favorite Pokemon game, and while I don't think that this generation is really my favorite generation, I would say that out of every game in the whole series, this is probably one that I could just pick up at any point and play and not really have a problem, and that would be Pokemon Ruby. I just love the way that Ruby is set up, and I love the soundtrack, and I love the starter Pokemon and the Pokemon in general, and the region and the characters and the pacing of the game. It all fits really well for me. Number 3 is favorite spin-off, and I didn't bring up like a full list of all the spin-offs to like really pick my favorite. I just was like going off the top of my head. One game that I always enjoyed for some reason, even though it wasn't really much of a popular game, was Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. For such a simple idea of just being pinball, it was really fun, especially when you unlock like the special little mini games where like you're fighting the Dusclops and stuff like that. I thought it was a really fun game. Dave, of all times for you to come out and noisily drink water, you choose now while I'm recording? Come on, what the hell, man?
Hi, Dave. Hi, buddy.
You know, you're making a lot of noise in here. You're making a lot of noise while I'm trying to record a video, and I don't appreciate it. Oh, there you go. You can't get that in there, homie. You can't get that in there. It's not gonna fit. Dave, what are you doing? Okay, you have fun as long as you can. Oh no, he got it in. Oh my god. As long as you can be quiet about it. Number 4 is favorite legendary, and again, I didn't bring up a full list of all the legendaries, so maybe there's one that I forgot that I kind of like more than this. But one that I really like is Palkia.
Oh, Palkia's head looks like a penis.
Shut up. You're not funny. Shut up. So I've mentioned before on my channel about how Generation 4 was really that point where I realized that Pokemon was going to be a lifelong passion and not just some childhood hobby. And my first experience of Generation 4 was with Pokemon Pearl. And because of that, I don't know, man. I have this attachment to Palkia. I just think it's cool. I think its cry is awesome. I like it shiny. I like the game in general. You can get Bonsly. Bonsly's adorable. Number 5 is favorite Mega Evolution, and Glalie. Glalie. All day, every day. I love Mega Glalie. I just love Glalie in general. If you watch my top 5 Ice-type Pokemon, you know how much I love Glalie, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. But I was so excited when they announced Mega Glalie that I did this little video talking about like, oh, these are these new Mega Evolutions that they just revealed. And I was like, oh yeah, Steelix is cool. The design is great, blah, blah, blah. Glalie, though. Number 6 is favorite Alolan form, and it's kind of a tie, but not really. I like Alolan Raticate just a little more than I like Alolan Persian, so we're just gonna go Raticate. I always kind of wanted a reason to like Raticate back in the day, because obviously it's just that generic starting normal Pokemon fully evolved thing, and it wasn't really that interesting. It needed a little bit of spicing up, and I feel like the Alolan form did a good job of spicing it up and making it super interesting. And it looks, I think it's super cute with the fat cheeks. You can think it's a big fat ugly Winky or whatever, but I think that Alolan Raticate and Alolan Rattata are both fucking adorable. Number 7 is favorite starter, and this is a really hard one for me because there's a lot of starters that I like. So I'm just gonna choose the starter whose entire evolutionary line I like equally, because there are some, like, you know, I really like Oshawott and Duat, but I'm not too big on Samurott. A lot of people aren't. So the one starter evolution line where I like every single entry in the line is Chespin. I remember when they announced Generation 6 that I was super excited because I was on a smoke break at work and I happened to be scrolling through Facebook and saw the trailer, and my whole day was made. And when I saw Chespin, I was like, that is adorable. He wears a hat all the time, just like I did. I've stopped wearing my beanie recently. I don't even know where my beanie is, but I always used to wear a hat. And I played with Chespin for the first playthrough, and I loved Quilladin. When Quilladin was revealed, everyone was like,
it's just another pig knight. Look, it's fat and round and awkward.
and I was like, oh, it's adorable. He's like a big round boy. And then of course Chestnut is just a fucking badass. He's got the shell thing and he's buff, and it just amazing design. Love it. Chespin. My camera's backwards, fuck you. Number 8 is favorite region. So if they meant favorite generation by region, then yeah, Sinnoh would definitely be it. I love the Sinnoh games. I know that the pacing in Diamond and Pearl is a little slow and a lot of people don't like that, but I think that the region itself and the Pokemon in it and the characters are super awesome. Not to mention just the geographical region itself is beautiful and super diverse. You've got the icy plains, you've got the mountains, you've got the underground, which is awesome. You've got a marsh, you've got your forests, you got your foundries and your flower meadows and your beaches and your volcanoes, and there's so much to Sinnoh that makes it feel super unique. And in Platinum, when everything's all covered in snow, it looks amazing. It looks so good. Number 9 is favorite pseudo-legendary, and this is another hard one for me because I really like Garchomp, but I kind of just like Garchomp because Garchomp is cool. Whereas when it comes to like memories, Salamence is where it's at. I think one of my fondest memories being like 11, 12 years old playing Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald was late game traversing Meteor Falls to find that one cave where you can get Bagon, and catching one and raising it and just destroying everything in my path with a Salamence. I love Salamence. I think the design is really cool. I especially like Shelgon. I think Shelgon's probably the best one in that line just because he's literally just a ball with a couple eyes. Very angry eyes too. He's just brooding and seething inside of a little cocoon with his legs sticking out, and it's adorable. And then of course he just evolves into this destructive, bloodthirsty dragon, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And the Mega Evolution, I get it, the wings look kind of weird, and the tucking its legs in thing is also kind of weird, but if there was any dragon in Hoenn that deserved a Mega, it was Salamence and not Flygon, because fuck you. Number 10 is favorite mythical Pokemon, and I had to look up a list because the distinction between mythical and legendary, it's all blurred for me. I know there's criteria for it, like they don't always have 600 base stat total, or they don't have an in-game event and you have to get it through like an online event or whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know. Either way, Deoxys. This whole video is gonna make me sound like Gen 3 is my favorite when Gen 4 is my favorite, but I have fond memories, again, of walking around the space station in Hoenn, talking to everybody and doing everything to try and unlock that secret event where you like go to the moon and fight Deoxys or whatever, that playground rumor. I think because of that, I had this like childlike wonder about Deoxys. So when I was able to get it in later games, it was nice. I felt like, you know, my little failure of a quest in Gen 3 had finally come full circle. And all the forms also are really super cool. If I had to pick a favorite form, by the way, Defense. I don't know why. He just looks so cool. It looks like a juggernaut, and he can take lots of hits, and he kind of can take lots of hits. So yeah, Deoxys is cool. Number 11 is favorite rival, and I cannot pick anybody but Silver. Call it Gen 2 nostalgia, whatever. I think Silver is the best rival in the entire series. Some people will say Blue is the best because, you know, you're like childhood friends and he's an asshole to you and you beat him down and you kill his Raticate and then you take the throne of Pokemon champion from him after he's had it for a whole like 5 minutes. Whoop-de-fucking-do. He doesn't really have too much of like a character progression though, where Silver, on the other hand, has a lot of progression to his character. He grows from like this little punk-ass kid into this like well-rounded trainer who learns the value of loving your Pokemon and using them for more than just battles and finding out that they are more than just, you know, weapons to like be strong and stuff. And you see that with like his Crobat and stuff, and how, you know, he really starts to realize over the course of the game that like, oh yeah, loving my Pokemon is kind of important. And that's so awesome. Plus, I don't know why, man, I like the red hair. I think it's cool. I think it screams evil person you should be fighting, but he's not really like evil. He's just kind of misunderstood, you know? Number 12 is favorite professor, and this is one that I don't really consider all the time, so I really had to think about this one. I went with Rowan. I think the only reason I went with Rowan is one, because he's from my favorite generation, but two, he actually like implants himself in the story and like contributes to everything that you do. Whereas like, you know, Oak just gives you a Pokemon that says, fuck off, go do the thing. And Elm does that too. He's just like, here's a Pokemon, go do research for me. Then Rowan is like, okay, I'm gonna come with you, not the whole time, but he's there during like the important Team Galactic battles and the whole earthquake thing at the library. He like inserts himself into the story and it's nice. Plus, dude, the facial hair, it looks so good. Number 13 is favorite gym leader / Elite Four / champion. And a lot of people are not gonna like my choice, but damn it, I love these guys so much. Silent, Chili, and Cress. So I don't know if I mentioned this in a video before, but one of the things I wanted to do after high school that I never did, and I probably should do, is go to culinary school. I love cooking, dude. I love food. I have a plate of like nachos that I ate all the good stuff, and now it's just a bunch of leftover chips and a couple beans, so I'm not gonna touch it anymore. I'm gonna throw that away later. These are literal chefs as gym leaders in a like restaurant type thing. Plus they're named after like garnishes. There's Silent, which is short for cilantro, Chili, which is chili, and then Cress, which actually is watercress. And I think it's used a lot in like Asian cuisine, which is super cool. And plus, I like the elemental monkeys, okay? But I like them as like a concept. They're really cool. If you want to learn more about those Pokemon, the True Green 7 talked about them at some point. I don't know. Maybe there's a video here, down there. I don't fucking know. Number 14 is favorite villain team, and I can't give it to anybody else but Galactic. Galactic is so good, and not just because they're from Generation 4, but just because Cyrus is fucking insane. You know, it's one thing to want money and power. It's one thing to want to expand the sea or expand the land or, you know, kill all life on the earth or whatever, or to liberate Pokemon, but really you just want power. But universal destruction is on a whole nother level, and he basically was like this close to pulling it off. Absolute mad lad. Plus the hair is awesome. The grunts, while their outfits are a little weird, carry some really interesting Pokemon like Bronzor. I think Bronzor is super cool. Number 15, favorite character overall. I chose May because out of all the rivals in every game, since I normally pick the boy in those games, so May is always the rival, so, you know, whatever. Brendan can fit here too. I like May because out of all the rivals, she just fucks off. That's all she does. She just fucks off. She's like, you meet her every once in a while and she's like, hey friend, how you doing? Let's have a battle. And then she's like, oh, your Pokemon team is strong. Here's a super useful item. Bye. That's it. That's all she does. And then she fucks off for like a good long time and lets you do whatever you want. Whereas like, you know, Sharon and Bianca, they stop you every like 5 feet to battle you. Same with the X and Y peoples, especially Serena. Fucking hate Serena. They're always bothering you like all the time. And while Silver is the best rival, cause duh, May is just like, you know, she just leaves you alone. She lets you do your thing. She lets you do you. She doesn't get in your face all the time. And she always is kind of a challenge. Her team is really, really good in those games. And yeah, I like May. Plus, I like the outfit. I don't know why, man. I like the outfit. I think it's the fanny pack. Number 16 is favorite route, town, or city. And this was hard because I wanted to put Route 209 here, but there's not a whole lot interesting to say about Route 209, besides the fact that I just like the music. So instead I put Olivine City. The music is fantastic. There's the lighthouse. There's Jasmine, whose gym is literally just her standing in a room. And that's super interesting. You get the good rod. There's like the Krabby measuring thing. I don't really know how that works, by the way. I don't know how that works, but that's always super interesting. And that's like the first place you have access to where you can catch Corsola. And I love Corsola. So there you go. Number 17 is favorite soundtrack. Hoenn, all day, every day. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald has the best soundtrack out of any of the games. Gen 4 is good, Gen 5 is good, Gen 6 is good, Gen 7 is... the Team Skull stuff is good. But Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, literally every place you go in those games has such awesome music. The trumpets, the doots, they're all fantastic. And again, this is gonna sound like Gen 3 is my favorite, but it's not. But seriously, the gut-wrenching nostalgia of all that music. Like, to prepare for this video, I was like listening to some of the music and fucking like, you know, you get the feeling in your eye like you're gonna cry a little bit. You're just like, God, I love this music. Number 18 is least favorite Pokemon. Oh God, I'm gonna get so many hate comments for this. I don't like Charizard. So when Gen 1 actually first dropped and I first had my experience with Pokemon, as did a whole bunch of other kids, everyone was like, Charizard! But when I first saw Charizard, I was like, ew, that's like a really ugly dragon. And it's orange. I've never liked the color orange. But yeah, I was just like, this is an ugly orange dragon, and I don't think it's that cool. And then everyone ever was just like, oh, Charizard, blah, so cool. And then do that for 20 years. That's why I don't like Charizard. And then they dropped Mega Charizard X. Mega Charizard X is so clearly this just disgusting Gen 1 casual pandering to all these people who only played Generation 1 and kept crying about how
Charizard should have been a dragon type because look, it's a dragon. I don't care if the type was overpowered back in the day. Charizard deserves it because Charizard's the best. Shiny Charizard's black and it looks amazing. Oh, by the way, it would be cool if it breathed blue fire.
And so they did that. They took everything that these people have been whining about for 20 years about Charizard and put it into one Pokemon, and it pisses me off to no end. I fucking hate Charizard, especially Mega Charizard X, with every fiber of my being. Number 19 is favorite in-game battle, and this is a weird one because I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite, but it's one that just stands out to me all the time, and I don't know why. fighting Silver in Azalea Town. It's not even an important battle. It's just Silver's like, hey, I'm back. Let's fight again. And the only thing really interesting is that his starter has evolved and he's got a Ghastly now. Number 20 is favorite type, and a lot of you are probably expecting me to say Ghost because I've mentioned before that Ghost was my favorite type, and that's where Speqtor comes from. Ghost was my favorite type back in the Dizzy until I started to really think about it, and if you took a big list of all of my favorite Pokemon, a good portion of them are water types. In fact, if I were to go through every water type Pokemon, I could probably maybe only name like 5 that I actually dislike. They make up like 16% or something of like the Pokedex, which is a huge amount. So yeah. Plus, as somebody who just fucking loves pirates and the open ocean, and I love going swimming, it's just like water fits, you know? Water's a good fit for the pirate in my soul. Number 21 is favorite move, and this isn't something I normally think about realistically. I don't really know that I have a favorite move, so off the top of my head, one move that I really like is Astonish, but only because of the Generation 7 animation, because the Pokemon like turns around all sneaky and then they're like, boo! And they just turn around and surprise! And it's super funny. I think it's super cute, especially when you see a Drifloon do it. Watch a Drifloon do it. Number 22 is favorite ability, and again, this isn't something I normally think about, but if I had to choose a favorite ability, it would basically be any ability that contributes to shiny hunting, like Flame Body to hatch eggs, or Illuminate to raise your encounter rate, or Static to only find electric types, not only, but boost your chances. I think of all those abilities though, Suction Cups, because it guarantees that you can get a catch while doing chain fishing. And also, Octillery has it, and Octillery is super cool. Did I mention that Octillery is an emote that I have over on Twitch? Number 23 is favorite item, and again, this isn't something that I normally think about, but as a shiny hunter, I'd probably have to say the shiny charm is a saving grace. It's pretty nice, doubling your chances of catching a shiny, or finding a shiny, not catching, but you know what I mean. This is a pretty useful item, so defo the shiny charm. Number 24 is favorite Z move. Now, I don't want to talk about it. This is a concept for another video, but I really don't like Z moves, okay? If I had to pick one based purely on animation, Breakneck Blitz is amazing because whatever Pokemon is using said Z move just runs forward like they're fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. And then they just slam into the other Pokemon. And that's it. And it's funny to see because like the Pokemon is very clearly just in like its quintessential T-pose. They're not T-posing, but you know, it's just that model staying still, tilted slightly backward and just moving forward really fast. And it's hilarious to me. So Breakneck Blitz. Number 25 is favorite shiny Pokemon, and I can't give this to any other Pokemon but Pumpkaboo. Not only is it purple, which is clearly my favorite color. Let's take a look around my room real quick. Purple DX Racer, purple walls, purple microphone cord, purple hairbrush, purple hamster house, purple pillow, purple skull thing from Mexico when my sister went to Mexico. Also, did you know that my mascot's color is purple? I even use purple duct tape and a tack to hold up these pieces of poster board to keep the sunlight out so my room stays cool. We're in my bathroom now, but I only needed the mirror so you can see that I have a purple phone case. Even my bathroom spray is purple. I also have 2 purple 3DSs, one of which is a capture card, one which isn't. But yeah, I like purple. Not to mention, and this is something I've talked about before, but Pumpkaboo was my first shiny Pokemon. Up until Pumpkaboo, when I had to Mizuta hunt for it, I never got a shiny Pokemon randomly ever. It never ever happened to me. So it was really nice that my first Pokemon was something that I kind of had to work for. It didn't take me long. It was only 100 eggs, but it was still pretty nice. It would have been nice to get a random shiny Pokemon at some point in the like 18 or so years that I had been playing Pokemon up to that point, but you know, whatever, dog. Plus, Pumpkaboo is just adorable, and the shiny looks fantastic with like the green glowy eye things in the pumpkin and the black color, so it really looks like a black cat, and it's adorable. I like it. So yeah, Pumpkaboo. Anyway, so those are my answers to those questions. It is getting really hot in here because I have to turn off my AC to record, and it's summer in Kansas. Very hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and end off this video. Be sure to leave a like and all that stuff, and watch these end card thingies. So yeah, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, because I do a lot of stuff there. Okay, bye!